Merchandising has always been an afterthought here in the Nutnfancy Project. It's always been that way because it's an afterthought with me. The only reason I ever did a t-shirt is because of TNPers, the fans of the Nutnfancy Project for years hounded us. When you guys are going to do t-shirts? And finally, after 3 years of running the Nutnfancy Project, more or less, we came out with version 1 of the Nutnfancy Project t-shirt. I was excited. I thought that's cool, man. But then I get busy with the reviews, pre-production, research, testing, post-production, my job, husband, family. You guys know how it is. Maxed out, and for whatever reason, I'm just not paying attention to merchandising. And you guys keep me on top of that. You'll ask us, say, hey, when's this coming out? What do you have coming? We want this. That's why we have it. My son, Tactical Doodle, who right now, snapshot in time, is running the web store. Right here, dude. He'll remind me. He'll go, hey, dude. And he really says that, by the way. He goes, hey, dude. Or douche. I'm not making that up. You guys have seen it on camera. Yeah, we are like buddies, I know. That's what happens when you have your kids young, right? They're like your dude you're hanging out with. He'll say, hey, douche, are we doing a t-shirt or not? I'll be like, I don't know, are we? I don't know. I say, well, we need to get another version out, but I drag my feet. It costs us a lot of money to put them into production, get them. Do they sell? Do they not sell? It's always a risk. I'm glad to say, though, with this video, we are doing version 3 of the Nutnfancy Project t-shirt, and I do have a couple of other things to show you. Just little things or nothing major. So let me see, in version 1, if we go back historically of the t-shirts, it was rather tactical. The Nutnfancy Project, kind of a sheepdog theme to it. Law enforcement, military, civilian was on the back. And then in version 2, that I think we came out with about a year and a half ago, that was actually 2 versions. We had a backpacking version, which honestly did not do that well. We got stuck with a lot of those t-shirts that, for whatever reason, you guys, we got a lot of requests. Hey, we don't want a gun t-shirt. We want just a backpacking. So we did it. We put money into it, and we got stuck with some t-shirts. So those didn't sell. The gun t-shirts pretty much flew. So version 3, I don't know, 6 months ago we start talking about, I don't know, should we do a t-shirt? Yeah, let's do one. We're just going with a gun t-shirt. And that's kind of good in a way because of what's going down, right? For the attack, the blatant attack on the Second Amendment, I will tell you, if you wear this t-shirt around, you will have a conversation on your hands, and you will have an opportunity to educate. And if you run into what I'm calling the mobbers or the mobsters, people who are part of that anti-gun, anti-self-defense mob, they're immune to reason, logic, screw them. It's an in-your-face. I think it's hilarious. I don't care if you live in the UK or an anti-gun country. I say do it, wear it, be proud, because that's where we are. It is the new paradigm. So here it comes. Version 3, drum roll, of the Nutnfancy Project t-shirt. Oh, yes! Most excellent. Really love that logo. Thank you to our friend and TNP musician Brianisms, Brian Yerkes. That's a logo he designed for the CD. We just brought it onto the t-shirt. Outlined in gold, the Nutnfancy Project. Yeah, I really like that. And that blue, by the way, is the same coloration as my logo. TNP. I really love that color blue. It's kind of like a purplish blue. And then on the back, an in-your-face Nutnfancy Project with a current favorite phrase. Amat Victoria Curum. Victory favors the prepared. How's that for a conversation starter? It's what I talked about in my Behind Enemy Lines Combat Egress System series of videos. I've mentioned it before. It's been around a long time. I make no claim to that same, but I love it. And I think for us as gun owners, as citizens, soldiers, law enforcement types that believe in doing some preparation for bad days, it really strikes a chord with us. So it's very cool. And you can choose to tell people what it means or choose not to and just leave them perplexed as you walk away. It's up to you. So we're going to have various sizes. I'm not going to say we're going to order a ton of these because, like I've said, that one batch, and you may see those in the web store, and the web store currently is www.nutnfancy.bigcartel.com. You'll see it in the sidebar, you'll see it above my ugly face, and you'll see perhaps in the future different areas where we will move our web store, but we've been hosted there for a long time. We're just a small mom and pop operation. That's what we're doing. So order your t-shirt. We'll have maybe not like way, and over the years guys say, well, I want a 3XXX. Those are very expensive t-shirts. We may have a few of those. Just look at what's there. If you want it, if you're willing to pay for it, we'll order it up for you, but it's going to be expensive because we have to do very small runs of those and our costs go up a lot. Okay. This is a fundraiser for the Nutnfancy Project. Absolutely. It's an expensive operation the way I run it. Independently, it's probably going to get worse if Google, I don't know, shuts us down, does this. So absolutely, we want to store up as many funds as we can for wherever we take the project in the future. Buy it, don't buy it. I really don't give a crap. Honestly, I don't. It's not one of my priorities. I am big about capturing the moment that is the Nutnfancy Project. And I think, guys, if you watch that on the video, you will sense that ever since I began it back in 2008, I really like that. I talk philosophically. I talk about the passage of time, the importance of investing your time, making good memories. I really try to put that in my video. I mean, sometimes a video will have a different flavor and it's really not conducive to that. But sometimes when I'm out in the wilderness, I'm out in, God's country, you'll see that feeling and that heart come through. You see it in shooting videos with the music choices, how I edit it together. There's a lot of feelings in life. I try to capture those that represent my philosophy of life. And part of that is capturing the meaning of the Nutnfancy Project, which to me is the pursuit of truth, both in the gear review and in life. And I speak boldly about both. More and more so as the years have gone on. I think my gear reviews are so much better now than they used to be. I look at some of my older gear reviews and I'm frankly pretty embarrassed. I'll run into someone that occasionally and they'll go, dude, Nutnfancy? Oh, I totally watch your reviews. And I was like, oh, cool. Which ones have you watched? And he goes, well, I watched, your Walther review back in 08. I found that one. I'm like, oh, dude. Okay, I'm sorry. My reviews are better now. I leave them out though because, again, getting back to that march of history in the project, I like marking history that way. I think it's interesting, even though for me at times it's embarrassing. I mean, all the videos when I was like really fat, they're out there. That's part of history. I used to be 30 pounds heavier before I started doing the workouts for the Nutnfancy Project. Yeah, I know. I've been there myself. So when you get a piece of TNP merchandise, the message is you are aware of that history and the philosophy that goes behind it. And to me, it says something. It's just a data point of life in its entirety. But like I just posted the video, for the greater good, it's an important time to defend our rights. And you will see me and have seen me speak very forthrightly in front of this camera to my very small audience, which in reality is very small. But I do what I can. Taking care of your family, your friends, taking care of the environment, of your animals, your dognesses, your kitty cats, being a good person. That's what the Nutnfancy Project is about. That's who my videos are intended for, those people. And so when I see you wearing this, I'll know you get it. Oh, check this out. I just ran into a TNPer in the gun store. I'm going to post some really funny videos about that. They're funny in some ways. I'm going to call it, by the way, the term I came up with what's going on is fire Armageddon. Yeah, with what's going on, the threat of AWB, maybe worse, gun regulations coming down, fire Armageddon. So I'm doing a fire Armageddon video in a gun store. You'll see that post pretty quickly. I hope to do it tomorrow. And then I ran into the TNPer there, and he ran up to me and he goes, dude, Nutnfancy. And I'm like, yeah, how you doing, man? And he goes, awesome, I love your videos. And he goes, the owl is on the fence. I'm like, dude, close, but no cigar. The code phrase is different. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You guys a lot of you TNPers know what I'm talking about because you have watched my videos. There is a code phrase buried in one of them. If you come up to me, I know you're an awesome TNPer. And I'm just kidding. I know that guy watched the video. He's very cool, and I just gave him the very slight correction. I gave him a high five. I was like, awesome. I was like, you want to go on camera? He's like, no, I don't. A lot of times I come across that. Okay, so those are the T-shirts in the web store. You're still going to see these. These are my donation shell casings, and that's what it is. You're not buying these. It's a donation. And I have to price them the way I do, otherwise I will be doing them all the time, and they take me a long time to do. And I don't want to do that. I want to do the other stuff I told you about. And yes, buys ammo, buys the guns occasionally, the knives, all that stuff. Keeps me independent. Buy them, don't buy them, I don't care. But they are there. There is actually a lot of people that do love them and collect them. Each one is signed, polished, and they come with a certificate. Here's the TSR one that I just came out with. This one's already sold. It's number 2 of 50, only 50 worldwide on the TSR cases. And that's PMC ammo I shot mostly on the steel target with there. So that's going to be a PMC head stamp, 550 cord, stuff you've seen before. And it's going to be embossed with a collectability stamp for the Nutnfancy Project. This is a SIG P251. I've worn, this is actually mine. I wear that on the camera a lot. And you'll see these change over time depending on how I'm feeling. And honestly, when I think about it, it's like I'll go 3-6 months without even remembering it. Like, oh, I guess I need to change those shell casings. We just don't think about it, but occasionally. There's Operations Red Skies. M1A shell casing. This is my own, I think. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, because I think I screwed up that engraving. So I just did that one, did the dude another one. This is an M1 Grand. This one's sold, I think. That was Lionheart drill. I love that picture. You'll see that here again in just a second. And then I just came up with this. This is stupid. It's so stupid. I'm almost embarrassed to show you. But I love this bottle of Coke. I was like at a restaurant. It's an aluminum bottle. And I started thinking to myself, gosh, man, that would be an awesome fuel bottle. It has a rubber gasket lid on it. Carry alcohol, maybe your standard fuel. And so I'm giving away, not giving away. They are for sale. And I price them to make money for the project, yes. And I don't want to be doing them all the time. But each one's signed, numbered. We'll be doing 200 over the next year or so. And then it'll be done. I might do a Diet Coke one. They're very cool. I might have drank it. Just depends how thirsty I was. I'm going to promise you you're going to get a full one. Oh, this dude's getting a full one. Number 3 of 200. This one's sold. Buy it, don't buy it. I don't care. And then on the website, this one fell off. Let me show you. I did the video, you know, for the greater good. I will have a few of my talking notes that I actually typed up, and I'll sign them, and they'll be embossed with a collectability stamp. There are requests for that, so, you know, I talked about the blame game, mob rules, mob legislation, and I was surprised, actually, my New America series, we made some available, and they went. Maybe in future days at my new website, by the way, nutnfancytech.com, so glad I remembered that. We may have that available online, but that's a very small website now. It's just a shell, but the web address will be saved in the future, and we may flesh it out depending on what happens here in YouTube and how I feel. Incidentally, I'm actually under a lot of pressure from several different networks and have been for a long time. Maker Studios, Full Screen, Machinima have all contacted me for joining in their network, and I have said thank you, but no thanks for now. Will I do that in the future? I just don't know. I mean, Machinima contacted me like a year ago. I just don't know. I like my independence, even if it means less views, less subscribers. As soon as I go into a network or participate in a network in any way, like go to a channel or be featured in a channel that's networked, you're going to get a lot more numbers. And I just have always grown organically. It is what it is. You know, I've never solicited, you know, outside my own video for subscriptions. You know, whatever it is. I just accept it. I like being independent and doing whatever the hell I want in the Nutnfancy Project. That's why I've said no to television. Okay, and then in the web store, what else we got? We'll have just various TNP gear occasionally. You know, once upon a time we were going to do it every Friday. It just doesn't work out. It's just whenever it comes up. You might see a scope, an optic. No knives. We have to eBay those. various sundry gear items in the Nutnfancy Project we'll put up there. And those go pretty quick. We'll throw them up there, and within a day they're gone. So again, go to the website. Currently, nutnfancy.bigcartel.com. Okay, now this next thing you guys are going to hate. By the way, your room is still a wreck, dude. You really need to clean up. Just kidding. You do need to clean up, though. Okay, you're going to hate this. And the reason you're going to hate it is because there's only one of them. That's right. And sometimes these ideas just come to me so off the wall. I was like going, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, I'm going to chuck them. I'm like, wait a minute, that is such a piece of TNP history. And it's so often, I've done that a lot. I've like hucked stuff, and someone has said something to Tactical Doodle or Verolinus, my faithful secretary to the Nutnfancy Project, still to this day, 2012. And she goes, you shouldn't have thrown that away. TNPers would have loved to have that. And I'm like, I just didn't think about it. In the heat of the moment, we're hiking, we're sweaty, we're tired, and I'm just like, just trying to push it out. I don't have that much storage area in some places. I'm always trying to shuck gear and push it away. I mean, I basically say a carte blanche no to the manufacturers. I don't want your gear. Don't send me anything at all for free. We'll freaking buy it. I'm dead serious. I mean, we get solicitations, and I don't like them. I don't need it. Thank you, but no thank you. I don't care what it is. I'm not interested. Now, if you want to loan it, maybe, case by case basis, but whatever. I still get stuff sent, and thank you, but I got no room to store it all. Here we go. Without further ado, the thing you're going to hate, because there's just one of them in the world, and you guys are going to I know you guys, you're going to love this. Because when I put it together, and I did make this entirely myself, I was like, gosh, that's so cool. I want to keep it. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you talk about a slice of TNP history. These are a pair of my mechanics gloves, coyote in color. I couldn't tell you how many adventures they have under their belt. The fingertips are blowed out from reloading, chopping wood, hiking in the desert, in the snow. You've seen it on video, dudes, forever. I'm in the middle. It is signed and dated. And right here you'll see, I know, there's only one, I'm sorry. Nutnfancy's mechanics gloves used in adventures and testing from 2010 to 2012 as shown on video in the Nutnfancy Project. Signed and certified authentic. A piece of TNP history used from snow to desert, living to adventure, adventuring to live. TNP. I think I'm going to cry at this time. It's cool. It's just, I don't know. It's a piece of history, and I like that. And it seriously was so cool. I was like, I ought to hang this up, but no. I'm going to make it available to you guys, and the gloves are actually signed by me as well. Each one, and I will say sloppily at that. There's PFI Dude, Operation Red Skies. In that picture, you'll see the embossed authenticity certificate there. There's my T-38, representing Air Force stories in my military career. By the way, my dad named that aircraft the Talon. You didn't know that, did you? May have said it, I forget. There's a SOG, I think that's a Force. That's when I was on Jeremiah Johnson Adventure. Just a selection of cool photos and adventures. There I am on the snowshoe with Bucket Nuster with an M1 Garand. That's a Springfield Armory. Wearing these gloves, you'll notice the theme, except for the T-38, you'll see I'm wearing the gloves, actually, in that picture as well. That's with a Smith & Wesson M&P Sport. And then finally a Garand picture, looking off into the mountains. That's right. I'm going to put it on eBay, available for bid. Fundraiser for the Nutnfancy Project. No reserve. I repeat, no reserve. I think I'll start the bidding at like 50 bucks. If it goes for 55, whatever. Haven't determined how long I'll have it up for bid. And currently, the back of it is plain. What should I write on the back of this? I'll write something right now on camera. Oh, I know. Only one of these, seriously, I'm writing, in the world. Nutnfancy 2012. And that's true. I'm only going to do one of these. I may do more glove shadow boxes, as I'm going to call them, but they won't look like this one. The other one's going to be different. So go to Nutnfancy. That is my name on eBay. You will see this for bid. Bid fast. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of demand for this. Just a feeling. Just a feeling. Okay, so that's a website. We got a lot going on in the Nutnfancy Project, and we have kind of an uncertain future. Really, as a country, we do. To those of us who kind of are paying attention to what's happening politically, I think we have a certain future, if you know what I mean. As far as, you know, exactly how things are going to play out, how our firearms going to be a part of that history in the United States, or I should say future, it's unknown, and it could be very bad. So I'm trying to be hopeful. It's difficult, but I don't let it get me down. I'm still a very upbeat person. You will see that vibe come through in the videos. Trying to be the best dad I can, the best father I can, and actually the best producer of the Nutnfancy Project that I can. Real, grounded, down to earth. I'm still an idiot, and that's what I deliver in video form. This is Nutnfancy. Go to the web store if you're interested. If you're not, that's cool too. See you on the next video. Thanks.
Nice job.
Sending it.
Round's complete.
Yeah. Any more?
You're good.